Today, I went to the doctor. I hate the doctor. Well, I hate going to the doctor. Most people don't enjoy it, I think. Some of us are a little phobic, even. And especially if you're a big girl. It's something you have to do, regardless. And, of course, there are health issues with being fat, so, it's good to make sure that everything's okay. I hate it. I still hate it. And I didn't used to hate it as much as I do now. Then I broke my ankle. I broke my ankle singing karaoke. Okay, not literally, like, I wasn't in the middle of a song and it just snapped. But, okay, so I was singing a particularly stirring rendition of Why Haven't I Heard From You by Reba McEntire. And trust me, I'm not one to toot my horn. Well, maybe a little. Maybe I toot my own horn once in a while. But certainly not about my singing, because I don't think I'm any great talent. It's my dream. I mean, I'm one of those people who would go on American Idol, even though I know I wouldn't get through, just to be able to do it. And I don't know, just to have that fulfillment of the dream of actually performing nationally or something. But I know that I'm not super awesome. I'm just okay. But for some reason, this night, I was amazing. And everybody was actually, I swear to God, they were standing and hooting and hollering, and they agreed, I promise you. And it was that reaction, which was sort of the fulfillment of the dream, which led me to be on cloud 9, and I sort of felt like I was actually floating. And then I stepped down from the stage, and it was a little higher up than I expected it to be. So, as I'm floating down from the stage, my foot went like this. Ow. So we went to the ER, and yes, it was broken, so I had to go to an orthopedic surgeon, get it looked at and cast and everything. Without asking me anything about how I got this injury, etc., he just looked at me and gave me the lecture. You know the one. They'd start out looking so concerned for you. If you weren't so heavy, ... I do understand that the doctor has an obligation to his patients to explain the risks of whatever conditions they have. And yes, I'm fat. But it was the tone, it was it's the lecturing. I mean, there's a way to do it, and that's not lecturing. And it was. And over time, I've had several other doctors who've given me the lecture for one reason or another, and I just can't stand it. And the doctors want you to be healthy, and they want you to come back, and yet they just make you dread it more and more. There's a positive way to do these things. And it's the same like I've said before about, family who are concerned. It's one thing to say, I'm really worried about you, and I'd love to help you find a healthy way to lose some weight. Or I'd like to go walking with you every day. Or, something positive. And excuse me. And then there is the I put a lock on the fridge because you're getting too fat. The moms who pick on their daughters because they think somehow that's going to magically make them want to stop eating, when in actuality it just makes them, either they do stop eating and become anorexic, or they need the comfort of the food and have no other outlet, or whatever. Oh, see, it gets me all worked up. So, I don't like the doctor. That's the moral of this story. And I know I'm not the only one who's had this sort of feeling. But, you have to go to the doctor. You do. as much as I hate and I avoid it, I try to be a good girl and go every year, at least get my physical, and so today I went. And I love my doctor. I do. I love her so much. She never has lectured me. She's warm, she's inviting, she cares. She moved offices. She changed which clinic she works for. They didn't even have my charts, and she knew who I was and remembered me and asked me about specific things that have happened with me. So it made me feel like I am not just a patient number, I am an actual person to her, and that is amazing. And I hope everyone is able to find a doctor like her, because that is the only way I can keep going back is to know that I have a doctor like that to go back to. And like I said, she's never lectured me. She's never even mentioned my weight, to be honest. She asks about my health, not my weight. That is what is important. So, I went to the doctor. I am proud of myself because, man, I was so anxious this morning. I thought I was just gonna, I thought my little tummy was gonna explode. My not-so-little tummy. Because I just was so full of butterflies. It was really horrendous. The worst thing about the doctor, I had labs today. I had to get my blood taken. They stuck me in the elbow. They stuck me in my arm. They stuck me in this elbow. And finally got it out of, it's hard to see because the light's so funny, out of this spot on my arm, and it hurts like hell, I will tell you. My arm aches all the way up and down, probably because she had to kind of dig around, and that is another, has a lot to do with being fat. It also has to do with just my genetics, because I have rolling veins and I'm not a bleeder. So even though she got a vein on the other arm, it just clot too quickly. The great thing is, I did it, I got it over with, and I feel so much better. Having been there, things looked good, apparently. So I'm doing okay. And really, I feel so much better just having it over with and knowing I don't have to go again for a while, even though my arm hurts a little. So, I guess the message here is just go, get it over with, do it. It's important. You may hate it, but it's important, and sometimes we have to do things we don't like. But, we can be healthy. We can be fat and healthy, and if you're not, then, all the more reason to go. So, okay, the doctor.